guys, so today I have a humongous hobbycraft haul. I don't know how well you can see, but literally my whole room is full of craft stuff right now. I'm doing a summer craft club over the summer holiday as the children are no longer at school. So I have been shopping like crazy to get loads of craft activities ready so that they have things to do over the summer. So I went to Hobbycraft today and they had loads and loads of offers on. So I did buy a few things for me to make and also some bits for the children. So it's quite a varied collection of things that I have gathered. So the first thing I got cost me £3 I think it was, and it's a polystyrene cat. It does have a few facial features, obviously legs and feet and a tail, and it's really simple. Now I had an idea of getting loads of little sequins and loads of pins and pinning them into here, because I know you can do that with the tiny little balls to make sort of Christmas decorations, but honestly this would take so long. So I've bought loads of sequins and I'm just going to glue it on here. But these are great because you can decorate them in any sort of way, and they have loads and loads of animals. They've got owls, hedgehogs, they've got human heads, and they've also got frames. So I did also buy, I think these frames were around £1.50 each, and I've bought sort of loads of them because this is one of the craft activities I'm going to do with the children. And they're just plain polystyrene frames, and again I'm going to get them to cover these in sequins and make a little picture to go in the middle. And these are really simple and they have these in loads of different shapes and sizes. The next things I got are so cute. They're these little paper mache animals. Now these are all on sale at the moment. Usually they cost around £12, but this only cost me £3. And this one is a little squirrel, and so it's got a really nice little tail, and it doesn't really have any facial features as much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them to do a sort of collage on here, so cut out loads of different bits of coloured paper and glue it all on, and then put some eyes and a nose on. And as well as a squirrel, I also got a fox one as well. So these are the two sort of types that I got. I did actually get 2 of the foxes, and then I got 3 of the squirrels. They also feel like they're quite of a sort of sturdy quality. They are hollow, you can tell that, but they don't feel like they're going to break or crumble. And really you can do anything with either completely blank canvas. You can either stick paper on like I'm going to do, you could paint it, you could put fabric on it. The options are endless, and as I said, they have so many different animals, loads of different shapes and sizes. So I'm just going to start with the first bag and see what I can pull out. So the next thing I got were these 50p boxes, and they're meant to be little flip-flops, and they're just simple little boxes, a little bit of string there to make it look like a flip-flop, and for 50p you can't really go wrong. And I think I'm just going to get them to colour on these with normal felt tip pens because they are just made of cardboard. The same kind of thing, I got some butterfly boxes, and again these were only 50p. So these are great, and the sort of options are endless. You can do so many different things with these boxes. So next up I got some Suncatchers. There were so many different ones, but because I got the squirrels and the foxes already, I thought I'd go with the kind of like woodland theme. So I got some little owl ones, and they come with googly eyes already on them, and then different paints, and these paints are actually made to go on glass, so they're going to be slightly see-through and give it a sort of like a glass window sort of effect. And it does have a little hole at the top, so you can thread some string through and have these hanging in your window. So next up I got loads of packets of sequins, and these are for decorating the frame. So as you can see, they're all really colourful. And in this packet there are loads of different types. So you've got some leaves, some shells, sort of like the regular sort of looking sequins, some just random circles, and all some different sort of starred leaves. So there's loads of different types in here. So you can really sort of make anything out of these, and you can get a good sort of variation of patterns on whatever craft project you're making. I believe these sequins cost like £1 or £1.50 each, and there are quite a few in there. The next thing I got cost me £3, so it's slightly more expensive, and it is some silver plated craft wire. Now I've been making loads of polymer clay sort of items at the moment, and I've started making a bit of jewellery, so I wanted some silver plated wire to go in it so that I can sort of have a loop to hang the chain through. So I just got some simple wire. They had loads of different thicknesses and I got 0.6 millimeters because I feel like that's thick enough to use for jewellery, but it's still really flexible, so you can kind of get it into whatever shape you need. More sequins. Now to decorate my cat, because it's more of a personal project, I wanted to cover him in black sequins. So I bought 3 tubs of black sequins. Now you can't actually buy like normal sequins in sort of like a big bulk box. You have to buy them in these tiny little tubes. And each of these tubes cost £1.60 or £1.50, something along those lines. So they are quite expensive, but there's loads in here. He says that there's 9 grams worth of sequins in each pot. So I'm really hoping this is going to cover my cat. I am going to have to use a few of the sequins out of these packets just for the nose and the eyes, but mainly he's going to be black, so I thought that these would look really nice on them, and because they're kind of like shiny, I feel like it's going to show off the curves and the different features within his body. Next up, I got a pack of Keyrings. Now I thought this was great value. I think it cost me £1.50 and it comes with 12 Keyrings, so it's like a plastic square frame and then you put the actual picture inside, and that's exactly what these are. They're just the plain square frames, and it does come with like little bits of paper that you can draw on, but of course you can just print out your own ones and design your own ones to fit inside. And it does have the keyring on as well, and as I said, there are 12, so I feel like this will be a great sort of like filler activity during my craft club, because it's not going to take too long to do, but it definitely, you know, it'll take them some time to think about a design and decorate it, and it's something really nice that they can sort of take home straight away and not have to wait for it to dry or anything along those lines. Even more sequins. So I bought these little packs from the Works for £1, and it's a make your own dream catcher set. Now I've been making loads and loads of dream catchers, and mainly I just buy it for the silver circle because I find that the actual things that they give you inside are quite cheap looking and the feathers are slightly boring colour. So I went out and bought some craft feathers from Hobbycraft. These were quite expensive. I think they were £3.50 for this pack. But the reason I bought them is because it's going to be loads of sort of like 6-7-year-old girls, and they're not going to want sort of boring brown looking dream catchers. They're going to want really colourful, pretty looking ones. So I thought I'd just buy a sort of value pack of feathers so that they can sort of swap them around when they're making these dream catchers. So then, along with the large paper mache animals, there was also loads of like smaller ones which are on sale for, I think they were 75p, so it was a really good deal. So I got some little hedgehog ones which are really cute. I think with these ones I'm going to have to paint them because they are really small. And I also got some lizard ones, and of course I couldn't turn up the lizard ones, so I think I got around 5 of these lizard ones because they're really simple, and again it's a really quick craft to do to just sort of fill in time. Not going to take sort of too long to dry, and these are really nice little ornaments, and it does have a slight sort of facial expression to it. It does have 2 sort of like little bulges where its eyes are and things. They do make these lizards in like really big ones, but they were around £18, so the prices really vary. So next up I got some little toadstools. Now I'm just going to open these up to see what they are like because I couldn't really see it in the shop. So these are actually polystyrene toadstools, and they've been painted red and white at the top. They're slightly shiny on the top as well, and they're really simple. They're not really that detailed, and they're on this sort of green wire so that you can shove them in the plants. Now I've actually bought some before from the high street shop called Tiger, which are these ones, and I decorated all of my cactuses with them, so my whole sort of cactus shelf looks like it's infested by toadstools. But as you can see, these ones are of a slightly different quality. I think these toadstools cost me around £1.50, and the ones that I got from Tiger were actually only £1. So if you're looking for toadstools like this, I would definitely recommend getting them from Tiger because they are a slightly nicer quality and they are all slightly different, whereas these ones are slightly sort of irregular looking, and some of them don't really look like toadstools. There are around 17 in this packet, which is really cool because it means you can get quite sort of a lot of use out of them and use them for a lot of different little projects. I think I'm going to be using these with the children when we make fairy gardens. My craft club is very sort of fairy themed because that's really what the children are into at the moment. So I thought maybe making little fairy gardens and shoving these little toadstools in would look really, really nice. Now, a quick tip for anyone who is doing any polymer clay work. I love to finish off my pieces by adding moss. So this is an example of like a sleeping bat and its baby, and what I've done is I've stuck it on some card and painted it green and then glued this moss on, and it really does finish off a piece. And I feel like this tiny little detail can really finish off a piece, and it can sort of be used with most sort of items that you make. I love to just add it to the bottom of things like toadstools because I feel like it just makes it look almost a little bit more authentic and lifelike. Now, I have been buying this moss off of eBay, and it cost me around £8 for quite a small pack of it. So I was just sort of on the lookout. I wasn't exactly shopping for it specifically, but I thought I'd just have a little look around, and I was so excited because I found these bags of, I think they're 35 grams of this same moss. I got some in this white colour because I've never actually seen this sort of white sort of mystical looking colour, but then I did get some of the same green colour. I find with this moss, because it is sort of like a naturally sort of sourced thing, it does all sort of come looking slightly different and in slightly different colours, but they do stick to the colours which they come in the packages. What I sometimes do is paint over little bits of the moss just to give it a little bit more colour variation, and if you paint it the same colour as the cardboard that you're sticking it to, it makes it just all blend in really, really nicely. These bags of moss were so cheap as well. I think they were like between £1 and £2 for these bags, and as I said, I usually spend like up to £10 on a bag smaller than this, so I definitely will be moss shopping in Hobbycraft again. Some of the craft activities that I'm going to be doing with the children are to do with sewing, so I just bought some rather large hand needles. These are just big enough to put your sort of big wool thread through. Kits do come with these plastic needles, but they're really, really hard to work with, and I'm hoping that I can teach these children how to sew properly, so I thought I might as well buy some sort of nice needles for them to use, and they are thick enough so that they're not going to snap either. On to the next bag. At the moment, all of the Hobbycraft Craft Monkey boxes and kits are on amazing sale. This cost me £1 and it's for 2 hand puppets. So I'm just going to open up and show you. So inside the box you get a little patch, which is nice, that says Puppetology. Now I think this is kind of like almost, you know, when you're in guides, you know, sort of when you're like a guide or a brownie and you get badges when you complete a task. The craft monkey boxes all come with different patches, so you can sort of like collect them almost, but I thought that was really nice. And then it's got 2 sort of felt animals. There is a monkey and a lion, and it comes with full instructions and needles and string and everything you could need to make these, and for £1 that's amazing price. I think normally these are around £5, but as I said, there's a massive sale on that at the moment because the summer holidays are starting. Now there are only 2 in this box, so I'll probably be saving this for possibly a day where my craft club isn't quite as booked up and there's going to be fewer children and I can sort of focus more in on a couple of children at a time. So in this bag there's loads more of those Suncatchers which I was talking about, and these Suncatchers, I think there should be 6 of them because they were on an offer for 3 for 2 and they were £1 each, so for 6 of them it cost me £4. So another thing which was on offer, and I believe these were again £1, are these little sewing bird kits, and you actually can make 3 birds. So I did actually buy 2 of these kits because then it will cover 6 children, and they're really simple. As you can see, it gives you everything that you need. You get the 3 different felt birds cut out, and there are actually holes all along them so that you can see where to stitch. And then you've got all the little sort of accessories that you need to sew these up and stick on the eyes. Cute little decorations to make, and also I'm hoping that this will introduce the children into sewing because at the moment they are just hot glue gunning everything. And lastly, what I got from Hobbycraft are these slightly creepy looking masks. They are cat masks, and I've got 4 of them, and they are, I think these were also £1 each, but but they're quite sort of thick plastic, and on the outside they're sort of a matte feel, so you could probably colour on these with felt tips, but the inside is this sort of plasticky feeling. And I thought that if each of the children decorated these and make them all look unique, and they don't have to be cats, I mean, you could sort of pull this off as a bat or a fox or a bear or something, but they are actually meant to be cats. And again, they had loads of different animals. They had monkeys and cows and horses and loads of different ones, but I decided cats was a safe bet. Hobbycraft is amazing for sort of kits and craft projects for children, and although a lot of it is very expensive, when you dig around a bit you will find some really good deals. Now, things like acrylic paints and paintbrushes, they're so expensive in Hobbycraft, and I'd say the best bet is to completely avoid that and actually go to the Works. Now, I got a 20 pack of acrylic paints from the Work for £3, and I also buy value packs of paintbrushes, sort of 15 for £2, and they last me ages, and they're a super good quality. And those are the paints which I use to actually paint my little figurines that I make, and it always stays on, and I never have any issue with mixing them or applying them. A few other things which I picked up in the Works which I thought you may appreciate. The first one are these pound wind chimes, and again they're little butterflies, and these are wooden and they're on a very natural looking string, and it has these 3 little chimes hanging from the bottom. Again, I thought this would be a really nice sort of simple activity to do when you're filling time or waiting for something to dry, and you can just colour on these with felt tips. There's no issue about that. And lastly, something which I buy all the time, like every time I go to the Works I pick up a pack of these, because I use them for everything. I use them for my sculptures, I use them for decorating within my room and craft projects and loads of different things. Are these 50 craft leaves, and these are actually amazing to use when you're sending items through the post, because they're quite good, like because they're quite soft and make quite a nice sort of cushion for them, but also around toadstools and anything sort of woodlandy, autumny, and anything sort of natural looking. And they're not actually made of paper, they are made out of a very thin but like sturdy fabric, and they're all slightly different in colour. You've got sort of the oranges, and then there's greens and reds within this packet, and as I said, I've probably got like 500 of these because they are really cheap, 50 for £1, and they're such high quality, and they all look so unique and really nicely done. So these are definitely something I would pick up if you are in the Works. Even if you don't have a specific project in mind, I find these so handy, just sprinkling a few round here and there, just completely finishing off a piece of craft. So that is everything I'm going to talk about in this video. If you could see my floor right now, you would see that there is so many other things that I could talk about. I've got puzzles and picture frames and clay and beads and you name it, that it is on my floor right now. So I'm gonna go and sort this out. I just thought I'd do this little video because this is what is in stores at the moment, and they are on great offers because of the school summer holiday. I know this video has been slightly brief, but otherwise it would have just gone on forever. If you do want to know any more sort of fine details about items, or you have any little questions about the quality, I mean overall the quality of this is amazing, but if you want to know about one little item in particular, just leave me a comment down below. If it's still sunny where you are, I hope you're enjoying the shade, and I will see you next time. Bye!